Good day, everyone. This is Coach Reese coming at you with another great video. I'm hoping all is well with you and your family and that you're enjoying your day. Today, I'm going to be doing a part two of the video of teen pregnancy. And I feel that this video is very important to put out there. Teen pregnancy is nothing funny about being pregnant as a teenager. Because it's just my humble opinion. As a teenager, you're not emotionally equipped to deal with the mature responsibility of being a parent. And like I said in the first video dealing with teen pregnancy, I understand that some young ladies had this desire to have children, and that's great. But I encourage you, young ladies, to harness that desire. Just hold on to that desire until you first of all, you need to get a husband. You need to have a good solid career to financially take care of yourself and the child. And you have to be emotionally equipped with enough wisdom and insight on life to pass on to that child. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a waste of time. I don't want to say it's a waste. Well, it is. I don't want to say it's a waste of time because that's disrespectful. But it's just not the right. Being a teen mom is just not. You're just not ready. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's a lot that you need to learn in life. You know what I'm saying? And the only way that you can learn some of the things in life is you have to actually physically experience it. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say this when I was going to church, I learned a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? But once I was attending church in my 30s and 40s and stuff, I can feel the growth on the inside of me. Does that make any sense? My spirituality has strengthened a tremendous amount from the age of 6 or 7 to the age of 30. You understand what I'm saying? That's 20 some years of maturing my spiritual life. And so I just want to tack on to that scenario, to this teen pregnancy issue. You just need to give yourself time to grow spiritually. You need to give yourself time to grow mentally. Of course, you may be physically able to have a child, but the spiritual and mental health is very important in order for the child to grow up to be very successful. You understand what I'm saying? So just hold on to that. If you have a desire to have a child as a teenager, hold on, just harness that desire. And then once you get married and establish your career, then you can go ahead and discuss that with your husband, and y'all can go ahead and plan to have a family, okay? I just want to, I think I've already discussed that. I just have two things to discuss. I think I've already discussed that one. I'm just going to say this. I think I've already discussed the second point. Okay, the first thing that I wrote down was, if by chance that you do become pregnant as a teen mom, young people, I'm going to tell you right now that you're going to miss out on life. Now, if you have parents that are financially able to help you take care of the child, that's great. But I'm going to tell you right now, your parents are probably going to make you be the primary parent and caregiver. Of course, they're going to be, good grandparents and help you financially or whatever, but they are not required to raise your child. You are, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm going to tell you, like that desire to be a cheerleader, you may have to put that on the back burner because your child comes first. That football game that you wanted to go to on Friday night, you may have to put that on the back burner because, your parents may have been taking care of your child all week while you're in school. And, and your parents may want to go hang out and do whatever. and it's your responsibility because that's your child. So all weekend you're going to be raising your child and taking care of the child the best way you can. So I just put out a couple scenarios like that because that is a living reality. Like I say, your parents are not required to take care of your child, and it's not fair for you. It's not fair for you to get all upset because you're thinking that your parents should take care of your child while you go to the football game or what have you. But you have to understand that your parents or the child's grandparents have been taking care of them all week while you're in school. So you keep that in mind, you know what I'm saying? And so it's not fair to your grandparents to tie up their weekend for you and your child. They have a right to live a life of their own, and they've earned that privilege because, you know, at this point you're a teenager, and you know what I'm saying, of course you're old enough to stay at home by yourself for a couple hours or what have you. And then always they had your parents may have planned to do this or that and the third once you became a teenager. But then once they became grandparents, of course, if they're financially able, they'll make that shift for you. But they may not tie up their a good majority of their time trying to help pacify you because of the tragic mistake that you made. And I'm not trying to talk bad about you. I'm just speaking reality. You know what I'm saying? Your parents are not required to raise your children. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you, like I say, a lot of grandparents are not going to, tie up their weekend to keep the grandbaby and all that. If they want to go hang out or whatever and do what they want to do, they're going to put that responsibility on you. And that's their right. Why? Because they're taking care of both of you guys financially. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to say that you also, young ladies, if you are a teen mother, you need to be thankful that your parents are sacrificing and, allowing you to go to school and establish your career and dealing with the financial burden of helping take care of you and their grandbaby. That's awesome. And so once you establish yourself, young ladies, you need to take care of your parents accordingly, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and start my letter today. The title of my letter is "You Do Not Qualify to Be a Mother at 15 years old." You do not qualify to be a mother at 15 years old. I remember being in the Navy. During this time, I was madly in love with my girlfriend. During this time, everything was beautiful and great with my girlfriend. We had made plans for us to get married and be together in the future. Everything was great until I received a FedEx package. I was so excited to open the package. You see, letters from home were a tremendous moral boost for me. Receiving letters from my girlfriend and family gave me the boost to make it through another day. And I look forward to going home to see them. I remember opening the package and reading the letter. As I read the letter, a sadness came over me. My girlfriend explained to me that she was pregnant. I was in total shock. I was hurt because our plans were to get married and then have children. During this time, my girlfriend was in college. I really wanted her to graduate and pursue her career. As soon as I was able to go home, I went with an urgency. As soon as I got there, I told her to make a doctor's appointment. I remember her going to the doctor for a pregnancy test. The test came back negative. I was so relieved because we both were not ready to have kids. During this time, I was in my 20s and I was just, and I just was not, during this time, I was in my 20s, and I just was not ready to take on responsibility of being a parent. During this time, my girlfriend and I were trying to accomplish our goals. And yes, we just were not ready. What if God had other plans for us? What if God blessed us with a child? My life and my girlfriend's life would have shifted towards taking good care of the child. Our young lives would have taken a back seat for the sake of our lives would have taken a back seat for the sake and priority of the child. Young ladies at the age of 15, you are not ready to be a mother. There are certain requirements to having children. I'm going to list a few right now. Point number 1, children require adequate food, shelter, and clothing. Point number 2, children require money to sustain them. Point number 3, children need discipline from wise counsel. Point number 4, children must and should grow in a spiritually healthy, mentally healthy, and physically healthy environment. Point number 5, children are a 24/7 obligation. And of course, there are more requirements for having children. Young people, if you have a child at 15 years old, your life will never be the same. If your parents are willing to help you with your child, that is awesome. But what if your parents cannot afford to help you with your child? You may have to consider an abortion. Going through an abortion is one of the most painful experiences of a woman's life. Young people, I'm asking you to consider this. Save yourself for your husband. At the age of 15 years old, I assure you, you have a lot of life ahead of you. Give yourself time to grow into the beautiful woman that God has meant for you to be. Give yourself time to learn and excel in your career. Give yourself time to grow spiritually and mentally. Life is a little easier if wisdom is learned along the way. Okay, young people, that concludes my letter for today. And at the end of all my videos, I touch on the topic of wisdom, and I touch on the topic of critical thinking, and then I go into my ending statement of practice. And I'm going to go ahead and start talking about the topic of wisdom. And I have 3 points, and it goes like this. Point number 1, wise people are good listeners. Point number 1, wise people are good listeners. Point number 2, wise people had the thirst and desire to learn good knowledge and spiritual knowledge. Point number 2 is very important, young people. Wise people had the thirst and desire to learn good knowledge and spiritual knowledge. Point number 3, wise people had the courage to teach their wisdom. Wise people have the courage to teach their wisdom. So young people, I encourage you to do your research on the topic of wisdom. And I pray that you young people will pursue wisdom with the utmost seriousness. Pursuing wisdom, young people, will benefit you in the long run. And I pray that you all will do that. Okay, I'm going to go into my statement of critical thinking, and it goes like this. Always be a critical thinker, young people, especially when making big decisions. Always be a critical thinker, young people, especially when making big decisions. So young people, I encourage you to talk to your parents or guardians on the topic of critical thinking, and your parents will help you navigate the differences between making big decisions and minor decisions. And young people, I also encourage you to do your research on the topic of critical thinking, because I'm telling you, young people, the sooner you become a critical thinker, the better off you'll be. I feel that critical thinking is very important, okay, young people, and I pray that you all will consider being that. I'm going to go into my ending statement of practice, and it goes like this. I love you. I want the best for you. I want you to practice using love and wisdom in all that you do. Life is a game that you must learn how to play. Practicing love and wisdom with your family, friends, and loved ones creates a powerful team. Love conquers all, young people, even if you feel defeated. So, young people, I encourage you all to keep loving and keep growing and gaining in wisdom, and God will bless you in a mighty way. I encourage you all to hit the thumbs up on this video. I encourage you all to share this content with family, friends, and loved ones. And I encourage you all to subscribe to my channel. At the end of the day, young people, I want you to accomplish all your goals and dreams in life, and I want you to be the best that you possibly can be. That is very important, young people, that you be the best person that you possibly can be. Okay, young people, I have one more nugget of wisdom before I officially conclude this video, and it goes like this. Don't ever think that you're better than anyone else, but rather, young people, think of yourself as just as good as anyone else. Humility is a vital key to successful life. I pray that you young people will all be humble young people, because humility is a very powerful key to successful life. And I pray that you all take that to heart. Okay, young people, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video by saying, may God bless you and may God keep you until we meet again.